A former Department of Corrections officer arrested in one of Oregon's biggest poaching busts will have to pay back more than $100,000 and is banned for life from having a hunting license. The investigation into 48-year-old Christopher Matson started in 2024 when Oregon State Police got reports of Matson illegally taking big game animals. OSP's Fish and Wildlife Division served a search warrant early last year, seizing more than 24 guns and various big game trophies, including antlers and skulls. Matson was tied to 2 separate poaching cases and faced charges in Grant County and Umatilla County. Last month, Matson pleaded guilty to all felony and misdemeanor charges. He was sentenced to 2 years of probation, a lifetime hunting license ban, 300 hours of community service, and $114,000 in fines. Prosecutors say that Matson has done more damage to Oregon wildlife than nearly any other individual person.